I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not watch the Grammys. I didn't watch the highlights of. So
Okay. I mean, we don't
if,
have to talk about it.
we can. I'll just won't have a lot to contribute.
Because I literally saw I forgot they were on myself, and I saw like the last 30 minutes, so I just went on Twitter and watched like the performances.
Girl, I knew they were gonna be on the whole damn day, and I was like,
it's like I'm good.
I had enough of these damn award shows.
I know that's right.
Wake me up when somebody slaps somebody.
I know that's right.
Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
From finance.
Paula's unseasoned chicken. Ugh.
Little girl, and Ask Yo Aunteas, dorky gent. So get your cups ready for Minoritea Report. Hey, welcome to Minoritea Report. It's Auntea Kerel.
It's Auntea Dawon.
And Auntea Landon.
Hey, what's up, Landon?
What's up? What's up?
Hey.
We got Auntea Landon filling in for Auntie Jerrell. And Jerrell, we're thinking of you in the fam right now. Yeah. I don't know. I think she put something out there. So hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn. But just thinking of you, boo. And the fam. Yeah. So, but thank you, Landon, for filling in.
Yeah, he called me maybe about like 2 hours ago and was like, "Hey, can you fill in?" I was like, "Absolutely," and he told me why.
Yeah.
And he said, "Let the aunties know I'm surviving by alcohol and hope."
I was like, "Hoop." Like that.
Hope.
Got it. Yeah.
I know. Last episode we were talking about getting old. I was like, "Ooh, was that a term?"
Right.
I don't know. Let me walk on over to this.
Right. It's like, what is that? Let me Google that. But yeah, we're thinking of you, boo. Stay strong, Jerrell. We got you.
Yeah.
Love you.
But yeah, I was like, how do you make a little pivot from that?
Just real quick, since this airs usually on Mondays, I just want to send a shout out to my dad, who is going to be undergoing surgery at this moment. So, sending you lots of love. Yeah. I'll be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the community. Oh Lord, where did that come from? community.
Where that at? What's that location?
It's in here, honey. She had a long day. Couldn't get the words out.
But she done took half a sip and then got loose.
All the way. Tongue didn't get all numb and everything. No, but but anything that the community can just send up some prayers and
for sure
and make sure that because you never know what happens in the hospital these days.
True.
No,
that's a true statement.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, we'll be thinking of your dad as well.
Thank you.
Well, that's it's just like it's always so hard to like take these little pivots. It's like,
we can do a hard left. So
moving next,
right before this, we was talking about jiggling balls.
Right? Jiggling balls. We was talking about all kinds of. I know, and again, community, we be hopping on here just chatting, and we're like, oh shit, we should say this for the podcast. Oh, we should say this for the podcast, and we just be talking that I forget what we said we was gonna say for the podcast.
Oh, I got one of them. I was ready to go off, and you were like, nope, save it for the podcast.
Oh, yes.
I was like,
who
okay,
want to go off on?
Let me put this in my notes so I know what I need to get mad at and when.
She be having a whole list. It's that Cricket Wireless that got you frozen right now. That's what you should be going off on right now. Oh look, she froze. Is she frozen on your end?
She froze. That's the timing. The timing could not have been more perfect.
Could not have been better.
Oh, see? My gosh. That is
there we go.
Funny.
They said go off, and they said, not today. We got your go off.
Right. Listen, don't mess with the internet, man.
Honey, period.
Have you seen that whole thing on Twitter that was, I think it was trending like by the time this aired, like last week. It's called the what does it say? The African American urge. So it's basically a hashtag. So it's a hashtag, and it's like all things that Black people do. So like for example, the African American urge to tell someone they put their foot in it when their food is good. the African American urge to spontaneously quote the color purple at any given opportunity.
We do it like weekly on here.
The African American urge to say, see, that's what you get when karma finally catches up with somebody.
Honey. Dang.
I've been tired of that stuff.
So is that on Twitter or is that like
it's a whole hashtag. Okay. It's a hashtag. So I mean, people are just adding all kinds. That's
my favorite part of Twitter.
The African American urge to grease your scalp after washing your hair is only second to lotioning after bathing.
I don't know anything else to do. Like, that's been so instilled in me that, like, literally you get out that bitch. Literally, here's my routine. Like, I pat myself dry a little bit, you know, get out there. And now that I've grown my hair out the last few years, that's part of the routine now. So, like, pat myself dry, make my hair a little drier because you don't want it to get brittle. And then I get that lotion, put that lotion on. I got my little skincare routine, put the lotion and things like that on my, you know, my Retin-A and stuff like that. Get my hair grease. Make sure the curls are popping and go on about my day. You got to moisturize, and it's the whole body too. Like, not just like parts of your body. Got to moisturize the body.
Do you watch the not here's a hard left again. But you know, that's how we go. Have you watched the season 2 of Atlanta yet?
No, I haven't watched season. Like, here's the thing. Okay. I watched season 1 maybe years ago, but I forget what even season 1 was doing.
It was 4 years ago.
And then I didn't even watch season 2. And so now that it's season 3, I'm sorry,
like, I meant season 3, not season 2. It's been 4 years since season 2. That's what I meant to say.
And then I think season 1 was like 2016. So I literally want to go back and watch all of season 1 because I genuinely can't remember the show.
Yeah.
And then I missed out on season 2. And then now so I got a lot of TV to watch. And this is the only one. You know how I get overwhelmed about watching TV. But I'm excited to be overwhelmed for this show.
But this ain't Game of Thrones, bitch. This ain't
right. It's like, and it's not like 10 fucking seasons. Damn, Landon done popped back in and she frozen again.
And that's the look. So community, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you might want to hop off.
You might want to hop on because the looks that Landon are giving. Wait, what's the hashtag? The black urge to tell Comcast to fuck off, but then Comcast came back and said,
I got your fuck off right here. Click. So community, what y'all don't know is Landon is having some internet issues and then had a whole meltdown with the internet people right before hopping on the podcast. And going in and out. Hey boo, welcome back. Boo? we see you on the cellular device. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? But you know what? She does know. She knows how to improvise. I love that. I love that, boo.
I'll do whatever I gotta do to make the show.
She says, "Switch it up."
Oh my god, I'm sweating now.
Xfinity, I'm gonna need you to get your shit together.
and it was so funny because you was about to rant about them.
No.
And your shit fucked up.
I had notes and everything ready to go. I was like, okay, I need to be mad at this and when.
And they said,
Xfinity said, not today.
Not today.
Not today. Not today.
Look, they said everything you done to me. Already done to you.
Period. Oh my
God. And the worst part about this whole situation is that I'm high. So I'm like, is this really happening?
Oh God.
I can't.
It's gonna be one of those episodes, community. It's gonna be one of those episodes. Oh,
if I would have known, I would have took animals.
Oh hell no! I can't have both of y'all not talking.
Oh, well, this is true. This is true. This is all the way true.
Because by the end of the episode, just be Kerel just talking
by himself.
Period.
Because I would just be blinking.
So I'm like literally sitting here like, is this really happening? Am I really that high? Is it like, is this happening right now with my internet not being working? Like,
Landon just entered the multiverse.
So did.
she took an edible. She went into Bizarro world.
So she can't even rant no more. They done got her back real quick. I guess we're using the Zoom audio on this episode. So sorry, community. If it don't sound the best, that's the reason why.
I take full responsibility. I own it.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start now. I'm all discombobulated too.
Okay, so you know what?
We said the same for the podcast, and we all over it. That's all right though. That's fun of it.
You really need to have like a save it for the podcast section and just write those
in the
down.
chat. That's what we should have did.
Yes.
Be like, because we had a whole list of them. But I am back in the office this week.
How did that go?
Girl, it's so weird. It's whack, honestly.
Well, hold on a second. Can you let's back up to the outfit, because your office has requirements for what you can wear, right?
And then even since then, they're doing a test run right now of, okay, maybe we'll let you guys wear jeans. And so they're doing an HR test run. And I'm like, come on, HR. Dawon, I love you in HR, but sometimes, damn it, HR be doing too much. Be doing the most.
The most. I will tell you that has very little to do with HR and has everything to do with your management. You're right. That is not an HR. HR enforces those because essentially what we do is we look for guidance and alignment and support from the leaders. And usually it's your senior leaders coming to HR saying, we don't want to see no booty shorts up around here. So, so now we got to lock all that shit down.
Right.
And then we take the heat. And then it's Bill. It's Bill. It's Tom.
Damn you, Bill.
Right. It's Bill and Tom.
Bill and finance.
Right. It's Sue.
Right.
It's Kamala. But, something like that.
So we started. So we're back to 3 days a week and 2 days at home. And literally the Friday before, they sent out an email saying, hey, we're going to do this test run of giving you the opportunity to wear jeans, but make sure there's no holes in the jeans and things like that. Cool. That's fine.
That has anything to do with your work performance.
Over the last 2 years when we were literally sitting had no drawers on. The shorts dangled going everywhere. And now y'all talking about jeans and slacks and all this bullshit. When the economy has had record performance and it has nothing to do with it. But okay, we get it.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, at least I could wear jeans. So the first day I was like, okay, let me at least make sure I go in with my shirt tucked in because I'm the new consultant on site, taking over, blah, blah, blah. And I would say about half and half people did jeans. Other people were kind of still in business casual. Some people were some of the ladies were still wearing the jackets with the heels on and everything. I was like, that's the most. But
okay.
Going into the office is bizarre because part of you realizes, you're kind of picking up right where you left off because of just the whole dynamics of office culture. But another part of you is I was fine on Teams. I was fine. And then now I got to do this stupid, what I'm really realizing is, even though I'm good at it, I don't care to do the small, stupid office chit chat anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what you did. I really don't care what you did last night. I genuinely don't.
How was your weekend? Did you have fun? Bitch, I don't know you.
Right. And so it's just the whole dynamic of that. I'm like, oh shit, I'm back in that world. And oh shit, I'm the new consultant on site. So now I definitely need to do it to make sure I'm visible and all that stuff. So there's part of me where but I'm good at it, so it is what it is. But the one thing I'm realizing that I'm really hating more than anything is I'm losing more sleep. because I
Going
used to
back to
like
the office?
roll like because it takes me maybe about like I would say it's probably averaging maybe it's not bad about 35, 40 minutes to get into the office, which is actually cut down from my last decade of commute. So I'm happy on that part actually. But during the last 2 years, I've literally been rolling out of bed like 10 minutes before I need to really kind of log in. If I shower, cool. If I don't, I'll shower at lunch or whenever I get a chance. Now, literally, I have to wake up an hour before I normally wake up, shower, get ready, walk my ass down to the train station, get on, and that's a little shit.
That's a lot.
That's a lot that I'm like, oh, this, even though my commute's a lot less than before, that's whack as shit.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say like just the fact that it takes 45 minutes to get ready because getting up, like, taking a shower, washing your face, doing your lotion and motion and potions, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's what we was going to talk about.
We got there. But like that whole process, I remember, back in the day when I was going into work, I would be getting up 2 to 3 hours early before I had to be in the office just to do all that shit and then take public transportation or drive to the office. So it's just like, and even when you're
2 to 3 hours though, that's a lot.
Well, I lay in the bed for like a good 40 minutes. I might get up, but
Right, it's a big decision.
It's like, but then the killer part about it is going. I mean, I'm my role is fully remote and whatnot, so fortunately, I don't have to worry about that. But like, when your day is over, it's not even over because you still got to take your ass home.
Exactly.
So it's like you can't even get excited about 5 o'clock. But still, okay, now I got to get on the train. I got to, and then fight this traffic to go home, and then walk my ass on home to be cold and da 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 da.
Yeah, and I just don't do well with the principle of it. It's just like the country has proven for the last 2 years, for the most part, that a lot of this shit does not have to be in an office building, but you're just doing it for the sake of just doing it. And that's the part that annoys the crap out of me. And so it's like, I get it in theory. Yes, maybe some things are a little easier in person to do. Like those quick little questions I have seen in even the last 2 days. I could run over real quick instead of typing up an email and stuff like that. Hey, so and so, have you done da 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 blah blah blah? Cool. Be on my way. Cool. I get the benefit of that part of it, but at the end of the day, we proved for 2 years that we don't need to be in this damn building. So why are we doing this? Like, why are we really here? That's what I want to know. So am I going to do it? Yeah, because like I want to keep my job and I like what I'm doing. But ... it's kind of whack.
Yeah. And honestly, I've been trying to figure out the answer to that question too, because even from a behind the scenes standpoint, I don't get it. I literally don't like. I understand that some people, not all, some people need to get out of their house. Maybe they got a whack ass husband, some badass kids, or maybe they got a roommate, or maybe they're just tired of like being alone. Like so many people are single, and and just tired of being in a house alone, hearing their own echo in the room or whatever. So I get that, but like it's not a productivity driver.
Nope.
It's not a culture driver at all. It's a component of the culture, but it's not a culture driver. The culture driver is how people are treated. The culture isn't about you sitting next to somebody shoulder to shoulder and somebody, and smelling their fish as they're warming up in the microwave. Like
and hearing them talk loud as hell on the phone.
Right. So
and the office gossip.
I mean, that's a perk.
Yeah,
that's a perk. I mean, depending on the kind of office you work in,
that's true.
Depending on how messy your coworkers are. Hey, so I honestly just don't understand it. I don't understand if it's a an occupancy, like if there are I don't even want to say regulatory, but if there are financial motivators to have people in the office that are macro level, right? That are above and beyond, your CEO or your HR team or your leadership team, you know, and the people's sentiment of people being in the office, if there are macro things, like, for example, you know, like there are things that happen that the news cycles will cover as a distraction for like policies being passed that is fucking everything up for your average American. We see that happening all the time. So that's what I'm trying to understand. Are we in this situation? Like, is this the guys to get people back into the office? You know, is there something else that is driven by lobbyists, politician, or, you know, or financial? There's some financial motivation that's really driving this that we're just not privy to.
I just think it's like because Bob doesn't know how to manage otherwise and doesn't want to take the time to learn a new management style.
They really don't have to manage. Convenient. Yeah.
But here's my thing. I genuinely do think we're at a crossroad, and for companies that think this is still going to be the future, we might be like in 10, 20 years, be like, oh, that's where Microsoft went bankrupt, or that's when Kodak decided not to change. And I guarantee you we're going to look at these 2 years and this pivot point and see who made it and who didn't, and who shifted and who evolved and who didn't.
There's Deloitte and Touche just came out. I just read this research report on the impact of inclusion on driving business results. And one of the big things that all businesses across all industries are concerned about is retention, because for the last 2 years, everybody was basically on hiring lockdown for the most part. There was only 10 to 20% maximum of job opportunities out there. So for the most part, nobody was jumping ship. Retention was at an all-time high across all industries because nobody else was hiring. And so, but now that we're at herd immunity in terms of people that are vaccinated and whatnot, we have, you know, COVID cases are at an all-time low. Deaths related to COVID are an all-time low. Not to say they were out of it, because there's still a goddamn pandemic going on. But the concern is that there are all those companies that had to give up jobs. Like, for example, my job was impacted back when I was working for the cannabis company. Best job of my life. I only worked there 8 months. Best job of my life. I love my I love my coworkers. I love the product. I love the team. I love the whole like cannabis industry. And not just for the recreational aspect of it, but I digress. So I lost my job. Like hundreds of thousands of other people lost their job as part of the pandemic. And so they had to find jobs in the midst of pandemic, which was not easy. It took me, I think, 3.5, 4 months to be able to start my new role or whatever. But all those companies that had layoffs are now hiring people back. So now there's this massive opportunities out there. So people, you know, are exploring these opportunities. Long story short, and I'll get off my soapbox, is this report was indicating that companies who are refusing to modernize their approach in terms of their company culture and embrace flexibility of work styles, meaning how you communicate, how you work, how you think. Some people are external processors, some are internal processors, and they're the restrictions that were put on people specifically related to where they work and, you know, the clothes that they're wearing and whatnot. Those that are the slowest to migrate to the modernizing that will be the fastest to burn and churn their employees, because employees through the pandemic realized that their time is worth more than this job. And so, and there are plenty of other companies that are out there that will hire you to do the same damn job, pay you 20% or more to do the exact same job in your drawers at home.
Damn.
It's true. It's true. So like, in the meantime, it's like, I'm fine. I'm not dying. My commute's shorter, blah, 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 blah. I get it. But I don't see this as a long-term boost. Solution, nor boost to, like Dawon was saying, productivity, nor to what I'm capable of providing in my role, if that makes sense, you know? And so it's just going to be interesting. Plus, now they're even saying Omicron too. Omarion back with the deluxe album.
With the remix.
It's like, girl. So it's like, shit. It's like right when we get, because like here in Philadelphia, they're starting to highly advise wearing masks again indoors. And so it's just like, we just got back into the office. And the same shit happened to, I guess, my client last year. They went to the office for 2 weeks. Someone got COVID and like ultimately ended up exposing the office. And they had to shut the office back down. And they've been gone for a year again. And now we're trying it again. And for what? And I get some people are excited. Some people were very excited to be back in the office, by the way. And I was like, okay, if you're excited, be back in the office. But it shouldn't be a mandatory thing where you had to be in the office a certain amount of days a week just because Bob in finance is excited to sit in his chair at work.
Because your home life is so horrible that you need to be in the office. That's the real tea.
That's a you problem now.
Right. But meanwhile, people love to be miserable together. They love to bring everybody else into their misery.
Loves company.
Exactly. So you can keep that.
So we'll see. But it's been interesting. Like I haven't had, like I said, less than an hour commute in over a decade. So that's been nice. It's been nice to just hop on the train and not have to drive. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic that I actually have never really had. Even when I lived in Chicago, I had to drive out to the burbs. So that's an interesting dynamic to be close enough to a train station to take it in. And it literally the building I work in. And maybe I shouldn't put all my business because I don't know if somebody hate the aunties out there be like, oh, I know where you live. I know where you work at, bitch. But it's convenient to the trains that I need to be on.
Come on, Auntie Cryptic.
It's like caught myself. But Landon, you've been back kind of in person off and on for a minute though, right?
What do you mean? Oh, Boston and New York?
Well, just like work-wise, like you go into work some days, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I go in. And some of the days where like I'm traveling for work and like working out of a different city, like I'm in that space for a reason. Like I can't obviously, do what I need to do at this airport. I can't do it remotely. So it's been, I personally don't have any concerns. Sometimes if I'm at the airport, you got to wear a mask. So I'm not really concerned. Most things I can do from home. Sometimes I do need to go in. I need a copier. I need a printer that got ink because ink is expensive. Right?
Ink is expensive. You're right on that.
Ink is expensive.
And runs out fast. They only give you about this much in them little cartridges.
You're going to print 2 pages and that's it, ho.
Right.
It start coughing.
Like this printer got COVID.
Going in has its advantages when I need that printer, but that's a wrap. That's really about it.
So I'd hit that Kinko's down the street real quick.
It's not that.
I don't need to be showered and dressed up for nothing, for no damn copy machine.
Paper.
So,
Who uses paper?
Right, paper. Right. Is that obsolete?
Sometimes you gotta print.
They still killing trees out here.
For that, yes.
But Landon got to go into work because there be dudes just be masturbating on flights and everything right now and get caught by the people and prosecuted.
Hey,
you saw that in the news with that dude on Southwest flight got caught by the chick next to him, and now he's getting prosecuted. I'm like, why can't nobody masturbate next to me on the plane?
That part. Because that is one of the perks of being a flight attendant, especially in them early flights when people sleep and waking up and you just walk down and you just.
I have a couple of flight attendant friends and I'll be asking, I'm like, ooh, tell me some stories. What's the best one you done synced?
There's some crazy stuff that happens out there.
I bet.
Yeah, and plus everybody got an OnlyFans, so they try. So the stuff that's crazy is starting to get crazier.
$12.99,
right? Like they trying to go from that $6.99 special to that $12.99 regular. That's what they try to do. Like you got to do some more stuff.
Remember Austin Wolf, that whole situation on one airline. That flight attendant, it got recorded, it got posted, and it was obvious what airline it was in the video.
It's like you can't. Yeah. It's like all these outfits be different. You can't be wearing your outfit, your flight attendant outfit in these videos.
Cover your face.
You're like, I'm gonna take my name tag off. No, we know that's the Delta outfit.
And we see that tattoo that's right there. So that's you.
It's like, come on, girl.
There's some crazy stuff out there.
I posted that story and my mom came in the DMs. I'm like, I'll be forgetting my mom be out here looking at this. So she said, go in the bathroom. I'm like, that's such a mom answer. Thank you, Mom.
Yo. Go in the bathroom.
Woo. It's like, okay. But I was like, dang, I'll be seeing all these little videos of people jerking off in Ubers and planes and bus stops, and I don't see nothing. All I see is Bob and Finance meet me at the train station.
and me in New York, you don't want to see the dicks I see.
I bet. I don't feel it either. That's the one thing about Philly. So far I'm enjoying Philly, but the sightseeing, the people, it's not up to the caliber yet of some of the cities I've lived in before.
So how do you feel about being on the East Coast? Because
it's a different mentality.
It's a whole different mentality.
Come on, Auntie Cryptic.
Right. Honestly, it's been weird. I find so far Philly has been one of the nicest cities I've lived in. Like, these people will let you come in, because some cities like Atlanta, they will cut your ass off in a heartbeat. Dallas, they'll cut your self off in a heartbeat. Philly, they're like, oh, come on in if you're driving and things like that. And people are holding doors and saying, here you go. And I'm like, Corey, this city is weirdly nice right now. They must know we the newbies. Because everywhere we done gone, we're like, why is everybody so nice? This is weird. So far the mentality hasn't really, I don't know what the Philly mentality is from the East Coast perspective, but so far it's been cool to me. They've been very, very kind. So, and I mean, I've literally only been in town in our house for one weekend so far. So it's not like I have done too much, but the little going to the grocery store and to the home, not even Home Depot, because I don't like Home Depot, Lowe's and stuff like that. So far so good, I guess. They've been the lady helped me this morning at the train station.
I don't like anything in in Pennsylvania. The whole state can just fall off the earth. I mean, it's just go.
There are other states that really need to be at the top of the list for states.
You're right on that.
I didn't say top, but
Pennsylvania.
They can go.
It's can we throw Florida and Oklahoma and even Texas Kansas now in front of that?
No Texas. Watch it.
I mean, you got Houston, Texas, baby, and that's about it.
Can we just have Houston? Yeah.
It's can we maybe Austin keep on, maybe the metropolitan areas. The rest of
it ain't. Look, the whole state ain't blue. So
right, because the rest of that state voted for that Republican ass governor who ain't shit. So I don't know. Texas might need to cut in line too.
What other states need to fall off?
I think it would be a shorter list to say what states need to stay.
That part,
because
that part.
Come on now.
There's only but a handful. But community, if you live in these states, we love you though. Keep rocking with us. And buy some merch.
You can love the people,
yes,
but not the surroundings.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're right. But I will say, Philly's an older city. Go ahead.
I might be one of those people to throw the baby away with the bathwater, depending on
how
tired I am. Why you screaming? You go to.
She said the baby, the water, the tub, burn this house down. But no, Philly's been pretty though. It's an older city, so it's an older city I've lived in, so it's palpable. Just the oldness of a city. So that's been interesting. And I'm just waiting for it to finally warm up, honestly, and be able to get outside and do some shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's got to be a tough part of it. It's you know, right now in spring, every day is like a different kind of like weather situation, and it's just not great for being out and about or whatever. So, yeah, I get that.
So we'll see. But who's ever out here in Philly, holla at your boy.
I might come out there and see you. Not this weekend, but maybe next weekend. I might come out. You know, maybe that Saturday. You know,
good to me.
How long is that train ride?
An hour.
Yeah, like hour and a half.
That's not
probably.
bad.
Yeah, not bad. Well, I guess obviously, like if it's delayed and all, you know, they be on some bullshit some days.
But it's not a lot because the train runs like there's different trains and like they run like literally every 15 minutes. So if one is delayed, you literally just hop on another train. So, but yeah, might have to make that happen.
See in a few
some
weeks,
little auntie time so we can shake our titties in some bars.
That's right. And by the way,
where you from?
That just reminded me, it's our third year anniversary. We've been so busy that shit, we got three years in this podcast again coming up.
One time for the birthday, bitch. Hey, 2 times for the birthday, bitch. Hey, 3 times for the birthday, bitch. All right.
Shake your titties if your birthday, bitch. Hey. Yeah, so we're gonna try to put something together here. It don't snuck off on us. So we'll maybe do some kind of live or something.
Years.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
I mean, legit. I remember like before we even started recording episodes and meeting together just to like, you know, talk through like, well, what the hell are we gonna talk about? How are we gonna fill up a whole hour?
And this is episode 166.
Wow.
That's wild.
Shout out to the community. Y'all be rocking with us. Y'all be showing your love. You be sharing. Go out there and get you some merch. That's what you can do to help us celebrate. Go get you some merch because we want to be out here in these streets. And the only way we can do that is if we have some funding, and the funding comes to the merch. And plus, it's a way for you to rock your love for the minority.
Come on now. I know that's the commercial. That might be the new commercial. Come on. I love it. At minorietyreport.com, it's easy. It's just the podcastname.com.
Right here.
That's right.
Get you some.
For your birthday, for you, for your friends, for returning back to work, for everybody. Come on now.
I know. Look, I wore when we did go out last weekend, I wore my wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass sweatshirt. And that is such a hit of a shirt. Like everybody asks about the damn thing.
In the street.
Yeah.
I get stopped in the where you get this? Right here on the back, minorietyreport.com.
Seriously, like everybody
in the street, no matter where I am in all of New York, I always get stopped. Where'd you get that shirt? Oh, that shirt's so funny. You have people like pointing and like, oh my gosh, that like, yes. So get yourself some.
Get you some.
We're gonna have to get some new merch out there as well to add to our Lebuticus library. We've been adding some sayings and things like that. So, you know,
they will be out.
Lord, they will be out.
So true. But y'all see that y'all watch how Paula Patton be making her chicken, by the way. And they would say, oh, you could tell she had a white mama.
The reason I ask you about did you watch Atlanta, and I'm not going to give anything away by saying this, but the very first episode of season 3 is kind of like a it's like a Jordan Peele kind of thing or whatever, you know, like it doesn't have anything to do with like the continuity of the storyline of Atlanta. But let me just say, there is some fried chicken foolery that is going on that is very reminiscent of what Paula did to the chicken wings that she was trying to like hawk on TV.
There was not a hint of seasoning anywhere. And then she had the nerve to hop back on IG saying, oh, I didn't know I was going viral. She said, we seasoned the oil. I was like, who seasoned the oil? How do you, the only way to season the oil is to use the same oil over and over and over and over.
Now that's some seasoning.
Now that's some seasoning the oil.
Seasoning, yeah.
But I was like, I was like, you don't season your flour. You didn't season the chicken. You didn't put nothing there of anything but flour. I was like, Paula, you knew that. You shouldn't have put that up on the
and had the nerve to be. She was grinning proud,
honey.
She was like Grinch grinning proud, like she was so happy
like, this about how my mama
about
make
them.
It.
And she, so happy about them burnt ass chicken wings. I mean, can we talk about the fact that they were burnt? It wasn't seasoning that gave them that color. They were burnt. There were like dark brown spots on both sides of the chicken.
Chicken is a very polarizing. Fried chicken is a very polarizing thing,
especially with the black
when
community.
it comes to our community. Because
now we know why Robin Thicke had to step out.
Dang!
Oh,
dang!
Ouch!
He had to step out on that. He's like, I could get unseasoned at home. Like, let me go out and get some paprika or something. And she only used three spices. She used Lowry seasoned salt, black pepper, and something else.
No, the third one ain't even salt.
No, Lowry seasoned salt, paprika, and black pepper.
No, see, you gotta
the seasonings
use
that
at least
used.
half that cabinet, half that pantry.
Well, you know what? No garlic salt, no onion salt, no regular salt, no.
And it's so funny. There was some going viral a few weeks ago about how old some of your seasonings are in a black home. But I'm like, that's what be making that seasoning taste good. I guarantee it.
It'd be marinating in its own juices and berries.
Yes, it might have should have expired in 2002. That's
matter.
Okay though.
You know what's so funny? Sometimes there are spices, and I use a lot of my spices all the time, but sometimes I don't know if this has ever happened to you when like you're running low on a certain spice, like let's say cinnamon, and then you go to the store to get a new one and you bring that home and you compare the color.
Like, ooh, this ain't gonna hit the same. Like, this got marinated in this pantry for a decade or two.
Or two.
It don't be the same. And the shit you get is new. And you're like,
it's true.
How is this
it's
like this?
This ain't hitting. This ain't hitting. But I guarantee you that's why our food tastes so good. I swear on it. Because our shit be vintage.
Look,
that was a good year. 2002 was a good year for cinnamon.
Are you? Because I know Corey cooks, and I know sometimes you throw down because you make a pretty mean sweet potato pie, if I remember correctly, and a mean
pork
mac
chop.
and cheese. I hadn't heard about your pork chop. Oh, see, you putting it out there, so I'm definitely coming to your house.
And honestly, pork chops are the one thing where Corey won't even make anymore. He's like, no, your pork chops be it. I'll be like, I know, boo.
Okay.
I'll be like, I had to eat before I met you. Seriously, he be acting so surprised that I could cook. I'm like, bitch, I had a life before you. And the bitch had to eat.
Yeah.
At minimum.
So Landon don't be cooking though.
But are you a stickler for brands when it comes to your seasoning? Like, do you stick to a certain brand? Like, you
not
always
as
have
much
a brand?
anymore. I used to.
Okay.
But over time I've moved so much, and sometimes even the regionality. Because like before I was like McCormick, but I was like, McCormick, you're getting expensive. So let me try some of this private label Kroger brand or Meyer brand. So over time, since I moved so much, the regionality of grocery stores have kind of changed, and I haven't cared as much. The only one is you always got to have at least a little thing of Lawry's back in there. You know, you got to have that. Like,
Facts.
It is what it is.
Facts. Yeah.
But then I found like there's a Greek almost Lawry's that Corey loves. I'm like, okay, this shit is bomb too. Okay. And then the rest of it, like, it could be whatever. Kroger.
I got a real quick question, and Landon, I want to hear from you. What was it like when Corey first tasted Lowry's, something that was seasoned with Lowry's?
I think he's had
that's always
before
a
me.
thing.
But it wasn't in his repertoire because like there's a Greek version of like just an all-purpose seasoning that he likes. Mm-hmm. But I was like, bitch, we gotta have some lawyers in this hoe. and honestly, even though a lot of these brands like lawyers is just like you look at the list, it's like paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, blah blah. It's just the amount and the rationings that they put in it together that just hits different. Mm-hmm. So he was like, oh, this is good. He's like, okay, I like it. So he'll put it on some stuff too, but more times he has his seasoning blends that he likes a little better. But he's had it before me, so I don't know if there was like a huge reaction.
You didn't turn him on too.
Nah,
you don't know nothing about this.
I turned him on that it has to be in the pantry. Like he never had it in the pantry before me, but he's had it before I came along.
And Landon, what about you? Do you normally keep that? Like, do you have loyalty to a certain kind of brand of seasonings, or do you like
what you got, Landon?
Mm-hmm. Or are you versatile?
Listen, I got spices for someone else here to use and cook instead of me. So, like, let me know what I need to get for you to cook for us.
See. She said my spices are the keys on my phone when I call and order my shit in.
She said I could put a good list together.
I can put a good list together. I do stick to me personally. I do stick to a brand like I love me some adobo. I love me some Saison Goya. I like McCormick. I mean, it's expensive because I went to go get some like one seasoning for like it was like Buffalo Ranch, and I was like, this is $4.39. Like
some of them seasonings be like double digits, be like $12 for some cinnamon. I'm like,
and how the nerve they got a nerve? How do they have the nerve to be charging so much? And their packaging hasn't changed since 1862. That is the oldest, crustiest, black and white televisionist looking packaging for their stuff. Like that McCormick black pepper container has been looking like that
since
day one.
Since Amos been making cookies.
Him and Amos were homeboys.
Right, exactly. You got the sweets, I got the sauce.
Are you brand loyal?
I think so. I think so to a large degree.
What do you get?
Well, I mean, I always have Lowry's for sure. No, actually, the only thing of McCormick's that I do get is the black pepper. Because I grew up with that and I just keep that. But what I get is the Fair Market from I think it's like in like Trader Joe's don't carry it. It's like at Target and Whole Foods and a couple of other places.
You know, she's it's like the core. She's at Whole Foods, you know, whatever they got at the Whole Foods.
Look, but she ain't grinding her own shit. I'll tell you that much. she ain't buying no damn cinnamon sticks and then grinding that shit up to make her, you know, whatever. So
that's funny. So Paula Patton, we love you, but we ain't eating your chicken.
But that's not gonna work.
That ain't gonna be.
You could have saved. She could have saved that. Who told her to do that? That's what I want to know.
She said she made it for the whole school. She said she sped it to the kids.
Will Smith, we need you. They need to be slapped. Like who was the person that told Paula?
Her mama.
Girl, you need to show these people what you cooking and that you can throw down. And she did.
Bad move.
They said trash. Trash. They said block.
Fire that publicist.
Honey.
Well, over there trying to make content, and that content is trash.
Trash. Well, community, we haven't done an Ask Yo Aunteas in a minute. But before that, we're going to take a quick little tea break and eat us a side of Popeye's fried chicken, not Paula's.
Yes, ma'am.
We interrupt this episode for very important information.
That's right. You've been asking for it for a long time, and we have heard you.
Yep, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here.
Yo Aunteas
got
merch! Hey! That's right. You know what? We got tees, we got long tees, we got sweatshirts, we got fanny packs, there's just a whole gamut of stuff out there. So go and check that out.
We are so appreciative of your love and support, and we are so excited to launch it. Girl, where can we find us at?
Ma'am, they can head right over to minorityareport.com to check out the selection.
That's right. That's MINORITEA report.com.
Woo! I'm about to go get me some myself. Oh, man. All righty, ladies. What time is it?
Oh, it's Ask
Yo Aunteas. Hey, we haven't said that in a while. I missed it.
Yes.
Then we'll let you read it, or are you too high to read it?
I don't think you sent it to me.
Oh,
It's
it
in
ain't
the,
in the chat.
chat.
Oh, we might have put it in the chat before.
Oh, okay. When I got disconnected.
The show
Yeah.
did. Hold on, we put
It
it back
should
in
be
there
in
for
there.
you.
There.
That,
There you go,
know,
boo.
that cricket wireless be sneaking up. I'm just saying.
Everything you done to me, done
We
already
need to buy our
done to
merch so
you.
we can donate something to Landon to upgrade from cricket. Oh, man.
It's the okay. I see it. I got it. All right, here we go. Aunties, when is it acceptable to message an old fling? 5 years ago, I had about a month of dates, flings with a dorky gent, and due to a handful of life-interrupting events, we stopped seeing each other. When things smoothed out, he disappeared, and I met someone else, which lasted 4.5 years, then fell apart. Quite a lot in that 4.5 years, I thought about where he'd gone and what he was up to. Now, I peeked his Facebook, and he's out of town on business, but is back in December. I set Grindr's Explorer to where he is and was tempted to just start chatting him up that way. Is this already too premeditated just to reach out and say hi at all? Should I slap my own wrist until he's back?
You need to slap your own dick until he's back. Like, over there doing
That part.
The exploring. Yeah, I think that's a little premeditated, a bit much, and a little creepy. Because if you haven't talked in 5 years, really, and then you went and stalked his Facebook to see where he's at, then you did the Grindr Explorer, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's the
That's
point
a lot.
of no return.
Honey, that's a good 2-liter
That's
Sprite.
a lot, sis.
Right?
Obey your whole thirst.
Man.
But I don't think it's bad. I mean, like, if it was an old fling and it didn't end on bad terms or anything like that, I don't know what the life-interrupting events is. And it sounds like you probably found somebody else or something. I don't know. But I don't think it's a bad thing. And maybe it's, the timing is now. Sometimes it's just the life and timing was bad. And if you felt like there was a connection there, the worst you could do is like, hey, you know what? We lost touch. Send a message when he gets back. Don't do it on Grindr. Do it on Facebook. Maybe even friend request him first to see if he accepts your friend request. And send him a message in the DMs. Say, hey, you know what? You popped up on like people I may know. I'm like, oh man, and I wonder how he's been. And just kick it off that way, naturally that way. The rest of it seems very premeditated and way too thirsty and might be off-putting more than anything. So yeah, wait it out. I mean, you don't wait 5 years. You could wait another week or two.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
To be honest,
24 hours.
To be honest, I couldn't get past the subtle shade in the very first line, calling him, what did he say? Dorky
gent.
Like, to me, like, first of all, there was no need to, like, use that kind of like
language,
you know, like, yeah, I mean, like, to me, that what that says is this person wasn't your type. Whatever type was, because that was superfluous information. I had to sneak a little word in there.
Come on, we haven't had a Dawon word of the day.
Come on, dictionary. Come on, dictionary.
But that was an extra word, a superfluous word, that an adjective that we really didn't need to know. Like, it wasn't even germane to the what you were asking.
Jermaine Jackson,
you know. And so, like, to me, what that speaks to is that yeah, you all might have, had a little like, hookups or whatever, because in my opinion, saying the dates / flings is code for you hooked up.
Yeah,
and the
y'all was
reason
just
I'm
hooking up for about a month.
right, exactly. And honey, them ain't dates. Them's just hookups. Because if you were actually dating, then you would have this brother's phone or his number in your phone, and you could just be texting him instead of having to stalk him on all the social medias. So in my opinion, this is somebody who basically said, you know what, I think I can do better. And 5 years later, you realize you can't.
Ooh. You might be right. You might be on something, Dawon.
So now you're trying to like drudge up, like these old flings or whatever. And let's be clear. It's not to say that it couldn't turn into something, but if the way that you're describing them to us is almost kind of like, I wasn't really into him, right? Then why are you backstepping? Is this a Iyanla scream in the hole moment? just speak it into the hole, like just speak it in the hole. Yeah, I fucked up, and then let it go.
It sounds like you just want to fuck right quick again. That dick was good, and it came back to your memory. You're like, ooh, I wonder how that did.
Exactly.
That was some good dick. How's that, man? That's what it sounds like.
Because we've all had some good dick with it. With a guy, I was going to say something else. A good dick. We have all had some good dick with somebody that we don't want to be seen in public with.
Oh, that you know what? And sadly, that's a real statement. That is a real statement. That's a real statement. Yeah.
What do you think, Landon?
Hold on, time out. Landon got that Dawon high moment going.
I know. She like, wait a minute, I forgot that this was actually my question.
Because Landon normally be popping in and out. Landon is high. Yeah. This is why we don't let anybody get high on this show no more.
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It is Landon.
Honey, she is high. The highest in the room. What you thinking, Landon? Go ahead. What's your answer?
I don't even know what we're talking about.
I knew it.
And there you have it. Well, that's it for Ask Yo Aunteas. Send your Ask Yo Aunteas to AYA@minoritetyreport.com or DM us.
Jesus, that's too funny.
Make sure you delete this episode like a few weeks after it's posted.
This might be one of the best subs.
Right.
At the end of the year.
Lord help.
Lord.
Okay, I got a question going back to Will Smith, and I know like everybody's tired of talking about Will Smith. I just had a question for y'all. Are we over inflexing on this Will Smith situation? Because we probably by now saw that Netflix has a couple of his projects that are on pause. They call it on pause right now. They've got the Oscars that are like, putting some kind of sanctions, and he actually withdrew himself from the Academy. No, not the Academy, but the something board. It's like, yeah. He's still eligible to participate and become like an Oscar winner, but he's just not part of the selection committee or the voting committee or whatever that is. Yep. And from what I'm recalling, I don't know all the list of people, but he's joining, I think, Roman Polanski, Bill Cosby, and what's his face? The one that the big old fat dude that
Harvey Weinstein.
That one. Yeah. Couldn't even remember his name.
You said the big old fat one. We said, oh, Harvey.
You knew. But we see each other. So he's joining that group of people who, at least those were kicked out and he just resigned from it. So he's not like part of that. But I'm just curious about, do we feel that there is a little bit of overinflection on what happened?
Yes and no. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When we was a kid, like if we hit like our brother and sister, even though it was warranted and things like that, and we might not have to be able to go out that Friday night, or we had to like sit down, get grounded or got that whooping, whatever it might be. So yes, maybe there was an overreaction by our parents in that moment, but there's some repercussions. And on his level, to be hopping up on TV like that and be slapping people, I mean, even if it was warranted, and even if we might understand it and things like that, some people don't understand the violence and things like that. And I'm not condoning violence. I ain't telling y'all to go out there and slap nobody. So don't say Auntea Kerel said that. That's not what I said. But there's got to be some kind of repercussions on it. Yeah. Is it maybe too much? It very well could be, but he did it. So whatever kind of comes from it, he's going to have to take, because it's not like he didn't do it and do it on a very public stage. Yeah. And even when it sounds like, and I don't know, Jada hasn't come out and said nothing, but people are saying even Jada think he probably overreacted. So it's just like, it's part of life. You live and you learn. And sometimes the repercussions might be too heavy, but and that's the lesson you gotta take. You gotta take what you give sometimes, even if it's maybe you're taking a little more than you thought was gonna come from it.
Yeah. And Landon, what do you say? You think the repercussions are a little too heavy-handed?
I'm yes and no, because I think when we all grew up with this great impression of Will Smith, right? This family man, this family guy. We got to know him when he was, in his teens and his 20s doing, Fresh Prince. We have this high expectation, and he kind of broke those expectations. We just have so much regard for him that in this action, he's hurt a lot of people, those expectations. And so I can understand why there's this outrage, why people are upset with him. On the flip side, I'm telling you right now, you talk about my mama, you talk about my kids, you talk about, someone that I love. That's like,
look, Landon said you could talk about these spices that aren't in my cabinet, but you don't talk about my family. Right.
Exactly. So problems. Like, you say something about my mama, you might get popped. Yeah. Like I'm just putting that out there. Like, use that against me. But I get it. So I'm kind of on the fence about. I mean, it's going to happen. We live in this age of technology where we've got social media, we've got all these news magazines. People are going to talk about it, and then it's going to fade away in a couple of months. It's going to be a distant memory.
We're going to be talking about the next person that slapped somebody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. And honestly, Will did it to himself. He built this facade, because I honestly don't think it's truly that's how he is 24/7. Like,
no.
But he's built this facade for monetary gain, for fame, for this and that. And he shattered it. So again, you did it, you built it up and you tore it down at the same time. So you can't be too upset that people are this outraged.
It only took a brief moment for him to tear that down.
Yeah. That's a wild thing,
And
do we really need a Bad Boys 4 though? Let's be for real.
No.
Keep that shit on hold, permanent hold.
Yeah. No, we can pass on that.
Right. So it might have been a good thing.
I actually feel like because he was so like wholesome, because in all of his raps and his music career, he didn't use any like profanity and whatnot. And then like the shockery of it all, when you heard him saying, keep my wife's name
in the voice
out your fucking mouth. Yeah. Like I'm like, oh.
West Philly came out. West Philly came out.
Like, what is going on here? Yeah. But I do kind of feel like, I mean, quite the opposite. Like now that I saw this, it's like, okay, I actually have I have a little bit more respect for him. Like, like because think about it, like all on his Instagram, like if you follow his Instagram stories or whatever, or any on social media, whatever, he's always out there, like, jumping out of planes, doing kumbaya with, Buddhist monks and whatnot, and like have this, really picture perfect blended family, even though like in the midst of it, there's entanglements and but basically a picture perfect family, blended family. And to see some roughness it's for me anyway. So it's a little refreshing, to be honest with you.
But he did it. He's doing this for the perfect comeback. We love a comeback story. Right, so damn, the Fresh Prince is back, bitch.
Don't get
one
slapped.
thing.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if he came out with a line of T-shirts that said something like don't get slapped, or keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, or whatever? Like,
make that money.
That's an opportunity.
Make that money.
One thing that I was thinking about was, and I hate to bring it to politics and bring it to a Trump thing, but for years we've seen, Trump engaging in behavior on camera where this culture has been normalized, where you can mock a reporter, or you can say, get that,
grab her
Biden supporter out of here, and, grab him by the pussy, all of that. You guys wanted this originality and this roughness. Like, you excused that for a while.
But then it's a black dude.
Okay. But so this culture that you have built of just being honest and being able to do whatever you want, Will Smith did that. So anybody from that community, I don't want to hear it. Like, you normalized that behavior.
Yeah. This reminds me of like a live version of that Dave Chappelle skit, when keeping it real
keeping it real goes wrong. Yep.
He kept it all the way real.
Like people playing on my phone. I keeps it real. That's one of my favorite sketches.
Oh, so
Keeping
funny.
It real goes wrong. Yeah. So I'm like, I agree, Landon. We're gonna forget about this shit soon, but like, unfortunately, we live, and fortunately, we live in a space where you reap what you sow, and in that moment, you can't be just up there slapping people like that. Like, even if you want to, and do that shit behind the stage. Like, you could have slapped them all you wanted behind stage, and we probably would have never heard, or we would have heard rumblings. We would have like, oh, y'all heard that Will Smith might have slapped Chris Rock behind stage. Da, da, da. That's how we would have thought it. It'd be like, and then here's what the narrative would have been like. Oh shit, I would have slapped him too. I don't like people talking silly about, and we would have condoned the violence then. Like, I would have slapped. But now that you saw it, you're like, damn, I can't condone it. Even though behind the scenes, you're like, damn, I would have slapped the shit out of him too. And so that's the situation we live in a lot of times.
Right.
That like,
right.
And is it right? No. Like, you can't be just hitting people, but
it was a little satisfying to see. To be, that's what you like. And I really like what Jerrell said last week when he was saying that like we have kind of perpetuated this culture where people feel empowered to be able to say any slick shit that they want. And it's like, I love when shit like this happens. Oh yeah, you can say whatever you want, but you better be ready for whatever the consequences are. And there'll be consequences for the people that, that had consequences for you. Yeah. But, just don't be out here thinking you could just say all kind of slick shit and whatnot.
And don't be saying it to me, even though I know last week I said my instinct ain't to like be hitting people. Don't play if you want to. Play if you want to.
Look, for all y'all out there who don't know, Kerel already said he seasons his food with hours. So you know what's up. Don't come to him. At the end of the
day, play if you want to. Play with me if you want to. So anyway, quickly, they are not going to charge for the Amir Locke murder, which is frustrating. And it's one of those moments, again, it's like one step forward, 29 steps backwards. So again, it's an election year. And I know a lot of people hate voting in these midterm elections, hate voting for the local shit. You don't feel like standing in line. That's where you vote for your sheriff. That's where you vote for these local authorities.
These prosecutors.
Absolutely. And that's where we start seeing these atrocities still to this day, because you didn't want to show and vote to get somebody that is going to better represent you in your community. Yeah. So we continue to see this bullshit, especially in this particular region of the country. And I get that you're tired of it and don't think you feel helpless, you feel whatever, but you could vote and change the narrative a little bit. And it's going to take a while. But that's literally one way you could start changing shit. And so 2022 is a huge year in a lot of the country for voting. The primaries are coming up. There's deadlines at the end of April and May that you need to be registered for. So please register. Please register and start changing the narrative in some of these communities. Because
and check your voter registration.
Please do.
Check your voter registration, because there are states out there that are authorized to purge those who do not vote.
I just left
so
one.
if there's a certain amount of time, there are states out there that are purging voter rolls. And they don't want black folks voting.
Sure don't. They don't want black and brown
so
families voting at all.
Exactly. But
you said,
it's
I said that's all they want to. That's all they want. Like they literally, all of this, a lot of what's being politicized is an attempt to diminish the black vote.
Period.
Oh yeah.
Period.
That's why they wouldn't be fighting so hard. They wouldn't be fighting so hard, to like have all these voter restrictions out there, because they know that when we show up, shit happens.
Period. Right. And the brown vote. The brown vote's going to be the most important vote. Don't get that twisted either. So we need both communities to show up and show out to represent what we need in our communities.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. So we don't see folks that look like us being killed by authorities and getting no repercussions whatsoever. So we're such in an outroar about Will Smith smacking somebody, but not in a big enough outroar about these police people killing people that look like us. So don't get me started on some shit like that. Like, you over here tweeting, making all these memes and shit, when we got some real ass shit that's occurring weekly, it seems like at this point, daily at this point.
Facts.
And y'all just sitting there doing nothing but like, oh, I'm too busy making memes about Will Smith to make sure that my registry is updated for voting. Fuck out of here with that. So, sorry, I'm on my soapbox. I'll hop off, but I had to get that off my spirit.
One thing that we have to keep in mind that, those other cases that were happening in Minnesota, those were prosecuted by the state attorney general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this one was. So if you look at the people, when you look at the people who are looking like us, so that they can also include us in that prosecution of prosecuting and going after these cops that are killing people like us
and coming into your own home under like, what is it, like the no-knock warrants? Like,
the
so you
no-knock
think you're even safe in your home? You're not even safe in your own fucking house.
Not at all. Not at all.
So look at those two cases, and you've got Keith Ellison who went and prosecuted two cases and won.
Mm-hmm.
So we need people like us in those seats to be able to make be a part of the change that we're looking to have within our community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And congrats to Ketanji. That's a step forward. We need more Ketanjis out there. So we need y'all to be going to school and be getting your law degrees and everything like that, so we can see more Ketanjis in another 20, 30 years. Hopefully sooner than that, but like the folks that are young enough in college right now is my point. Getting through college, through this tough COVID stuff. I know like the school's been crazy the last few years. Get them law degrees. We need you. We need you. We need you. And I'm voting for you. Thank you. And now quickly, I know we're at the end of the time here, but we haven't talked about Drag Race. They finally got another person out of there.
Two people.
It was 2 people.
Double elimination.
Because I couldn't take another just like people staying there episode. I was like, this shit needs
my God, what's going on?
Where's the wrap
this
it up
season
box?
Is literally gonna go like this season is literally gonna go to market days. Like no one is getting eliminated. No one is getting eliminated.
Imagine?
Like damn.
Can you imagine? Oh, you gotta go. You gotta go to market. You gotta go to market days to find out who is getting who's getting eliminated. Not even who won. To see who get eliminated. And then you'll be able to find out who won at Christmas.
And people are asking, why are we a week behind? Because we record on a Wednesday and the new episodes come on Friday, and our episode that we recorded on Wednesday don't come out till Monday. So yes, we know we're a week out. So whoever just got voted off again and who's making it to the final, we wouldn't known 2 days ago. So we'll catch up. It's fine. You'll be all right. But they voted out who we thought needed to. Deja was one.
Yeah.
We knew her time was coming up.
She had to go.
And I would have preferred Daya to go out, but Georges needed to go too, so that's fine.
I had to have a come to Jesus moment with myself. Like, I don't like Daya personally, and no, let me rephrase. I don't like her personality,
right?
Because I don't know her,
right?
But like, I don't like her as a person in terms of how she comes off and how she, just talks about people, and it's just that to me is off-putting. But I have to say that she performs. She's, if nothing, I would not put her as being outstanding. Right. I wouldn't put her as being like, oh, a queen that I would want to follow, or that, I think is spectacular, but she's consistent. Yeah. And that I appreciate. I do appreciate that. Like, I had to
when
kind
push
of
comes to shove, she's going to perform.
She's going to deliver.
Yeah, she's going to deliver. And that's what you honestly need out on tour, out on these streets every week. You need someone to come into these clubs and they do these shows that is going to perform and turn it out when they need to turn it out. So you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't like her at all. Like, no, you are just horrible.